it always amazes me that back then you guys just had this like you were just goal driven from a young age. Like, yo, this is what we want. This is what we putting in time to. Like Q-Tip was in here and he was like, yeah, we made the first single for Tribe in high school. And I'm like, damn, like they was really on it. It was getting equipment and all that. Like, hell yeah. When did you break into production? Like, when did you decide, like, yo, let's do this too?
One day, Prodigys Grandmother, she must have just been paying attention to us, watching us and shit. And she brought Prodigy, like, at least this shit looked like $20,000 worth of equipment, straight up. He called me, he's like, yo, my grandmother just bought me mad equipment. I was like, what? Went from Queensbridge all the way to Hempstead. His grandmother bought him all this equipment. Prodigy showed me how to work it a little bit. And ever since then, I never got off that shit. I just was like, he would try to come make beats. I'd be like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? And I, you know what I'm saying, just bogarting and shit, because I just was, you know, I just knew once I saw that equipment, it's like, that's what I wanted to do.
Wow. When did you realize you had synesthesia?
What?
Synesthesia.
What's that?
When you see colors. When you see sounds as colors.
Oh, damn, you taught me something new, learn something new every day.
I was in the room when my OG interviewed you for The Source.
Right.
And you described how you make beats and you said,
right.
I see them as colors.
Right.
And if the colors don't match, the beat is trash.
Right.
And I found out, when I searched it, Pharrell has the same thing, a couple people have the same thing, and it's called synesthesia.
Oh, that's ill to know,
ill.
For real. You know that. Just kind of early on. You know what I mean? It's like I could see the beat, and you know what I'm saying? I could see those vivid colors in my head, and you know, I always thought, you know, I was kind of crazy for it or whatever have you, but it's just that even sometimes I go under the track board, like, you know what I'm saying, to even listen to the music and shit. I do crazy shit, but...
You said you go under the track board?
Yeah, I go under the fucking track board and just be like, they be like, yo, what you doing? I just be under the track board. You know what I'm saying?
Underground music. Thank you for not letting that one slide. Like, wait, what?
Wait a minute. After this interview, I bet you a lot of these guys go, all right, y'all, it ain't done yet. That's crazy. Wow.
Word. Hell yeah. Yeah, the shit just...
Remember that nerd album, Seeing Sounds? That's where the title came from.
Synesthesia.
That's where the title came from. The second he said that shit, I was like, oh shit, he's got... I don't know if he knows he has it.
Right, that's crazy. Now I got something else to brag about. Synesthesia, straight up.
Bang, bang.
Word up.
My expert opinion, you know, we be putting people on shit.
I love the fact that your egos never broke the group. As favored as a group as Mobb Deep is, all of us in here have had a group that just didn't make it off the strength of somebody's ego outgrowing somebody else. Mm-hmm. The way you was producing and getting all that money producing, the way he was rapping his ass off and being called one of the best and one of the great. Like, ego could have been, it was right there where it could have happened.
There was some albums where I feel like they was going head to head. Murder Music, I felt that way. The Infamous, I like their stories more than anything else.
Thank you.
If you're trapped in the projects, it's real. It's real. There's a couple of situations. Son, I'm in Somerville right now, son. They right outside the door.
Word.
Yo, come help me. And I would think about this song like, yo, that's crazy. Yo, he's living that right now. Oh, man. I read somewhere that at first you didn't like, not Quiet Storm, Shook Ones.
Shook Ones.
What?
Yeah. It wasn't so much.
The original or the remix?
The remix.
Okay.
Yikes.
It wasn't so much that I didn't like it. It was just one of those situations where, again, I'll be in my crib for Dolo, making beats. If I don't got no ears to be like, yo, that shit sound dope or anything like that, I'm like, all right, this is cool, whatever, and I just, put it to the back.
Side, right.
So it was one of those things that, Prodigy and a couple of the niggas from the crew came upstairs. And they say, I was, playing the Shook Ones, and they was like, yo, what the fuck is this? I was like, nah, it's just some beat. I probably would have just turned the shit off, because sometimes I be making beats and just, fuck it, and just turn it off.
Right.
They was like, nah, this shit is crazy, you know what I'm saying? And we already had the Shook Ones Part 1 out, and we really liked the song, but we didn't feel like it take us to where we needed to go. So we used the new Shook Ones, the beat that, that I wasn't too thrilled about it, but I didn't think it was whack or nothing like that. But I just didn't know until, the niggas came upstairs, saying everybody like, oh shit, this shit is crazy. And then we used it for the Part 2.
Bro, that's got to be one of the most infamous beats ever. Like that comes on any place. You could be in a fucking hole in Zamunda. That should come on like that. Like, yo, is that Mobb Deep shit, son? Deadass, like, son, it's like.
Yeah, I want to know how they got the name.
Oh, what name is that?
Mobb Deep.
Oh,
there's only 2 of you.
Yeah, right. I mean, okay. rapping, but as you know, in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, when niggas used to roll, niggas used to be like 30 deep,
Facts.
20 deep. That's just how niggas was rolling, you know what I'm saying? Like going to shows for the first time performing. And, being that when we used to go out to the movies and all that stuff, we used to be 20 deep, 30 deep. And that was just something that we used to be saying around the way. Like if we saw other niggas that was deep, we were like, yo, them niggas was Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? We like, yo, them niggas was Mobb Deep. So that's just something we used to say.
Right.
So when it was time for us to change our name from the other group name we had, Mobb Deep just came to my mind.
What was the other name?
Poetical Prophets.
Poetical Prophets. Yeah. Thank God. Thank God you went with Mobb Deep. Thank you, God. Poetical Prophets.
Poetical Prophets. Poetical Prophets. And the way the name change came on that was because, back in the days we was trying to get signed. We ain't had no record deal, nothing like that. And we had got cool with Puff. So we used to be hanging out with him a little bit, back when we was in high school.
Right.
He used to throw parties at the Red Zone and the Octagon and all of that. And he used to be letting us in. And we like fucking 15 years old and he just letting us in. And so we used to be hanging with him because we wanted to get signed to his label because he was at MCA Uptown.
Right.
And one day we was at the office and he was like, yo, I fuck with y'all niggas, I want to sign y'all, this, that, and the third, but he said, y'all gotta change your name.
Poetical.
He was like, yo, y'all got.
Shout out to Puff. Shout out to Diddy, man. I don't know if it would have been the same.
Word.
Definitely not.
Poetical Prophets.
I don't want to hear Shook Ones from the Poetical Prophets.
I don't know.
I'm looking for
I don't know if
backpacks
that
and
would
white
work.
collars. Like,
Shout out to Diddy, man. He had the foresight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Because, if it wasn't for him saying that shit, like.
Y'all was good with it. Y'all was good with being the Poetical Prophets.
Yeah, we was straight, like, you know what I'm saying?
wow.
We was straight.
Looking back though, do you be like, nah, we was tripping?
Somewhat, because you got to think we was coming off the heels of, all of that, X-Clan shit, and all of that,
Tribe
Conscious,
and
you know what I mean?
was popping,
we was just coming off the heels of that, like, so
Right.
we was kind of like in that bag for a second,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we knew that wasn't really us. So when it was, suggested to change our name, we kind of knew that needed to happen. You know what I mean? So
You didn't fight it.
You didn't fight it.
Nah, we did it. We changed it immediately. You know what I'm saying? And that was like a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And,
Which name did you get? Which name did you get Unsigned Hype under?
Poetical Prophets.
That's what I thought.
Wow.
Yeah.
Poetical Prophets.
That's why.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I saw that article and had to look twice at it.
Like, hold on. Wait a minute.
No way.
So you was Havoc of Poetical Prophets.
Yes, I was. I was Havoc'S of Poetical Prophets. Damn sure was.
Yeah, again, shout out to Diddy. Shout out to Diddy.
He saved everybody.
Because Mobb Deep became an imprint, it became a brand, it became something that when you heard it, it was like, we gotta sit up.
But who knows what Poetical Prophets would have became, though?
Nah, chill.
Terrible.
No,
Chill.
I can't
We're not
agree
doing
with
that.
that.
We're not
I
doing
don't know.
Poetical Prophets.
I don't know what Poetical Prophets would have
Poetical.
brought to the game.
See, we gotta listen to him right there. You never know.
I had
Never
no
know.
idea what Poetical Prophets would have brought to the game.
Word
As far
up.
as I care, what I just heard was very interesting. Puff Daddy, of all people, encouraged the name to be changed from Poetical Prophets. We need some Poetical Prophets in the game. That's the problem right now.
Nigga, in the 90s,
We
it wouldn't
need
have worked.
more
It wouldn't have
Poetical
worked.
Prophets.
Poetical prophets sound like you're supposed to have a seashell in your dreads, bro. That's what it sounds like.
White collar and book bag.
You know what I'm saying? You got on 3 book bags.
Oh,
You
that's what I'm
rapping.
saying.
That's what it sounds like.
Poetic Prophets.
This man is
shook
from
me.
Queensbridge.
I ain't shook from the Poetic Prophets.
I
know
am
what
not
I'm saying?
scared
Word.
of
Shook
the
ones,
poetical
not scared.
prophet.
Shook ones by poetical prophets. No, bro, it's not gonna. It wasn't gonna happen.
They
Why is he
might have
drinking
not
now?
made shook ones. They
Put
might
that
have
wine
not
bottle
made
in his
that.
Was the
hand,
music
not
different?
Hennessy.
The music wasn't too far off from the infamous album. It wasn't too far off. We was, you know what I mean? We was getting there to where we needed to be. You
Right.
know what I mean? I think the name change kind of gave us that edge. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we Mobb Deep. Like, you know what I mean? And we was just starting to create things in that vein. You know what I mean? Like more true to how we was like living. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing nice growing up in the bridge and certain niggas you couldn't stand next to because that nigga probably getting shot at, and you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just a lot of just dangerous things that could have helped you not make it out the hood. You know what I mean? Was going on that we had to deal with. So you know, you know, at a certain perspective, we kind of lucky to make it out. You know,
When
'cause,
Wiz and
you know,
Strategy was here, every other word was rest in peace.
Facts.
Everybody they mentioned.
Facts. Every
rest
time
in
I told a
peace.
story, it was like 3 rest in peace connected to that.
for real.
For every story, it was like a mile-long list.
Yeah.
And then to the point where they even stopped and was like, damn.
Yeah.
I just realized how many rest in pieces we had to say during this whole thing.
Word.
Rest in peace, Prodigy.
Rest in peace, Prodigy.
Facts.
Straight up.
It's Hoffa, trapper turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.